everyone, I'm Denise Love, and today I'm in the mood for a color palette challenge. So let's get started. Let's pull a color card from Color Cube Volume 2 by Sarah Renee Clark. I'll link this under the video for you. And let's just see. Let's just pull a color. Today I'm going to kind of look at them and see, do any of them just look really interesting that I feel like I could do something with? And kind of give you a chance to see some of these cards in here and what they kind of include. And I have in my mind kind of what I want to create today. I didn't even realize that some of these have 6 colors and some of them have 5. That's pretty fun. Ooh, I'm really liking this blue with these kind of green golds in it. That's pretty. I'll kind of just give you a look here. I really like these reds and oranges and that touch of black. Kind of feeling that today. Let's just real quick make sure. Oh, that's kind of pretty too. Ooh, you know what? I'm feeling this one today. All right, let's do that one. And I have in my mind kind of what I want to create, but I wanted to pick a color palette so that I'm not fumbling around for colors. I'm pretty excited about this because I love this teal. I love these colors. I have a 9x12 piece of paper cut in half and taped down to my artist panel. And I'm using the Hanamule paper. And this is a fun fact. Okay, so this is how to pronounce
Hanamule.
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 Hanamule. This is the American pronunciation. I kept trying to say like maybe the German pronunciation. I don't know. Hanamule is what I was thinking, but it's Hanamule. So we're going to say Hanamule from now on. Now that we know the American pronunciation. All right. So let me gather some supplies of what I think I'm going to use here, and we will get started. I kind of want to get into my Kuretake watercolors because I'm feeling one of those delightful ones that we paint. But that dark teal, let me get a little piece of paper here. Let's just see. Oh yeah, oh yeah, never mind, that one's perfect. I was going to say that dark teal might throw us, but I don't think it will. So let's pull this out. This is the Art Nouveau Kuretake set. This is the Shadow Green 506. And I'm going to pick my paper up because you know me. I like to paint all over the paper before I get to using the paper. So let's just pick it up out of our way for a moment. And I'll pull these colors over here as I decide. So definitely that one. There's a really pretty light gray in here. It's not quite gray, it's more of a really, really light taupey, whitish. Maybe we could mix the gray with some white. This is 21 gray. Let's just see. Oh yeah, that will work. So I'm going to use that. My goal is not to be 100% exact. It's just to work within a color palette and get close and work within colors that I normally would not. Oh, perfect. All right, that's beige gray 406. This was gray 21, and this was 506 shadow green. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe this one. Oh yeah, 49 yellow brown. And then we have a really dark charcoal color, so we could use that a Kuretake color, or I could use some charcoal itself. I'll pull a black out just in case. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's number 20 black. There we go. Those are all the colors I'm going to be using out of this particular set of paints. That's super exciting. Now I feel like I can use some graphite because you know I like graphite. Oh, check out how close that is with those colors. Very exciting. And then as we go along, I'll pull some other stuff out also. And then if you do randomly look down and see a mark on your paper that you're like, huh, where'd that come from? If you have one of these little artist erasers, the little gray erasers that kind of squish up like this. That's a real good hack for just removing any tiny marks that manage to magically appear, like I always have on my paper. So here we go. I'm ready to paint. I think I'm going to use my number 0 soft aqua Raphael quill brush. This is 0 actually. Is that the one I want? The 0? I think that's the one I want. Yeah. Oh, I already had one in the... I was like, I thought I had one that was wet. What'd I do with it? Okay, and then I'm going to make... maybe, how about like we do our kind of abstracts in, say, like a circle. Maybe one that's really abstract and one that's kind of round. So I'm going to go ahead and place color. And when I get done, just because I thought of that, might not end up being what we get. But let's just see. That just totally didn't get round, did it? Maybe we'll go round with this one. Maybe we'll go round on the next whatever I do. I don't know. I just kind of didn't do round there. I kind of came right in the middle because I was like, oh, what if I go right here? Oh, that's so funny when we're painting. I did not activate these ahead of time. I could come back in with a little bit of water so that they're really ready for me to grab them. Kind of liking where this is going without dabbing any more color back in. I like what I just did with this one here. We could come back with a little tiny bit of some splatter because I've already got a little splatter on this one, and that would make it look on purpose. And then I think I'm going to let these dry and pull out some other materials to layer on top. Let me decide what that's going to be, and I'll be right back. Alright, pulled out some options to go with our color card. And this was card 275 out of that cube, if I didn't say that. Teal, beige, sand, copper, charcoal. So I pulled out a couple of Neocolor 2 crayons, Neocolor 2 pastels. I got malachite green. I've got silver gray and Van Dyke brown because I thought might make interesting marks. I also pulled out a Posca pen. I also pulled out the white and black. This is a extra fine point, and this one is a 7mm tip. Also pulled out my gold ink and a dip pen. I've got my graphite pencil. This is a Staedtler 12B. So I've just got choices that I've pulled out that kind of prevent me from looking all over my art room and thinking, what else do I need? And just kind of keeps me within a certain range of stuff that I've pulled out. So we're going to play with these. And if you're wondering why I pulled out the pronunciation of the Hanamule, because you don't know how many comments I get underneath my channel about all kinds of random different things, and most people are very nice and have fun and play, and man, I appreciate that. Making sure that's not water on there. Some people, who knows why, are super rude and just letting you know, we just go ahead and block them. I don't care. And then none of us ever have to see them again. And then some are well-meaning, and I do try to pay attention to the well-meaning. And if I'm saying something wrong, but you have to keep in mind too, you know, we say things different where I live, where they say in different parts of the world. A little funny story with that. My mother grew up in a little town in Tennessee called McKenzie, and the next town over is Paris, and the next town over is Milan. And you can see with all these little French towns, Milan doesn't quite fit in there, but it's spelled M-I-L-A-N like Milan. But you go over there to my island and tell anybody they're saying that wrong, and they'll probably punch you in the mouth. So it's kind of funny, the different ways that people say things. And I'm not sure why people feel the need to be rude about that, or about my laughing. If you don't like my laughing, my channel's probably not for you. Because I just laugh when I talk anyway. I'm talking to my girlfriends. We're just out laughing and having fun and giggling and playing. And maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea, but bless your heart if your mama didn't teach you some basic manners, or you think that you're invisible on the internet, because we all see you, and I just block you and then none of us have to see you again. Okay, now I'm just going to play, adding some marks, just getting creative, maybe trying to use a mark I don't normally use, like a little X here. And I'm one of those few people that I read every comment on every platform that I am on, and I'm on a lot, and I try my best to answer them all, and until the point where there's going to be so many that I probably can't do it. But for the past 11 years, I have managed to comment on every comment I've ever gotten. And then one lady was like, well, I wasn't directing this at you. And I thought, well, why would you post this on my video on my channel if you weren't directing that comment at me? People, give me a break. What is the matter with people? Oh, so that was really fun, actually. Got some gray, I've got some brown. This teal is kind of exciting. What do I want to do with this teal? Kind of feeling like maybe I didn't like that. I was thinking my gold circles and I would like it, but I gotta tell you, I just did that and did not like it. Now I can't take it back off. Oops. We can come back in there with some more. Maybe I'll top that with gold or something. Maybe when I'm done I'll like it. It's fun to kind of problem solve through things that you did and you're like, oh, didn't like that, or things that you do and you're like, this is a hot mess. Maybe I should just throw this away now. It's fun to problem solve through the ugly stages and just see where you can end up. If it's not good enough, maybe it doesn't have enough layers yet. There was a photography saying, if it's not good enough, you're not close enough. So I'm going to kind of mix that up a little bit and say, if it's not good enough, you don't have enough layers yet. How do you like that? I like that. Let's go with it. So just start looking at your pieces that you've done, that you've thrown to the side, and you've did one layer of paint and you thought, oh, this is terrible. Look at it now with fresh eyes and say, okay, what can I do with this? Can I add some more layers and save it? Or can we go with it? All right, I'm kind of liking that. Let's see, I love graphite, so let's just get some graphite in here. I love this. 12B. Oh, I do love very dark, heavy graphite. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Who knew that pencils could be so important? Somebody else, I love telling y'all the different things that catch my attention in the comments and things, but somebody mentioned on one of my videos that I wasn't as enthusiastic or energetic or crazy as normal, and they were asking if I was okay. And that's so funny, my level of nuttiness, we'll call it that, takes waves like my creativity, and sometimes I'm like hopping off the walls like I'm high on art, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a little calmer. But I actually do have a reason at the moment for being maybe a little less nutty. I started a very low calorie diet with my doctor to lose some of this weight that you gained during COVID, because I'm a little hermit, so I'm here all by myself, my little doggies just making art. And apparently snacking on whatever it is I can find to snack on, because why not? So now I've started a very low calorie diet to get back down to a healthy weight for myself. And it's kind of exhausting. I mean, I feel like I have plenty of energy, like I'm not tired. And I'm still kind of driven to create with you guys, because I love that. And at the same time, let's just do some more circles over here. And at the same time, it's like there's not the extra oomph in my mind with the energy. Isn't that crazy? Like, I feel good, but it's like, where's that extra little squeals of excitement? They're not in there. So at some point, I'm going to get to go eat like tacos. And after I do that, I'm going to have to come back and do a video and be like, woohoo, Taco City! Let's make some art and show that we had some tacos. Oh, I know you guys think I'm crazy. That's why you love me. So, if in this next few months you're like, oh, where's all the squeals? You'll know I must be still on the low calorie diet. And even though I can't wait to come up here and paint and create, there's not that extra in there. It's just not enough calories feeding the extra. And then one day you're going to see me on video and you're going to be like, damn, she's skinny. And then I'm going to have cute little outfits and be like, check out my cute outfit to go along with my cute pencil. I was joking with my neighbor. I wish she was just rolling as I was saying, look at my cute outfit. Go along with my cute paintbrush. She likes to follow my YouTube channel too. Oh, and she was laughing at me. See, I laugh all the time. Somebody was like, that diabolical laugh's got to go. And I'm like, you just must not love me, because that's just me. That's me. There's no, where is it going to go? It is all in here. And the people that know me love me. And if you don't love me, don't stick around. Move on. Because I love the people that are crazy like me. This is how we find our tribe. This is how we find the people that we were meant to have some fun with and hang out with. They're the people that'll joke with you online and just make the day better. And the crazy kooky people make the day better. And I kind of feel sorry for the people that are like, no, I don't have fun when I make art. I'm like, oh, bless your heart. If I ever say bless your heart to somebody in a comment, you should worry. You should look up bless your heart from a Southern lady. What does that actually mean? Because it actually does have different meanings throughout the world. I looked it up. If you're in some of the other countries, bless your heart is actually means, oh, bless your heart is actually sweet. But when a Southern lady says it, as sweet as she can, with all the sugar she can stick into it, she might be telling you where to stick it. Don't you love that? I love how different things mean different things in different parts of the world. See, now this is getting more and more exciting. I kind of feel like if I had done some other little weirdo circles here. Oh yeah, see, now I like the brown. Then I could have pulled that out a little better. Okay, I'm feeling better here about this. I'm not saying I love it, but I am feeling better about it. Ooh, I do love it with the black in there. Let's just throw the black over here. Oh, it's a little bit of craziness going, but I don't care. That might not be my favorite. I might be glad I did this. But I kind of feel like I need some circles over here. But, you know, I feel like maybe they could be gold. So I also saw a funny YouTube video. There's this guy that does funny Southern sayings. Verse, you know, each of the different states, what they might say and if you should worry. And he said, if you ever see a Southern lady say, oh, aren't you precious? That you should probably run from that also. You may be about to get it. Oh, that's kind of what I'm thinking with some of the trolls that are out there. Aren't you precious? Brush your heart. Block you. And now none of us never have to see you again. I mean, do they just think people don't see them, that we're not out there looking and I don't notice that they've put stuff on there? Give me a break. I make art classes and I have fun and laugh and carry on, and if you can't have fun doing all that, I kind of feel sorry for you. Alright, I'm liking the gold. It's not as vivid as I was imagining. Let's put some more out here. And if you have this nib and you're like, oh, the ink won't stay in it, I did read that if you prep your nib, they come with oils on them. This is that Kakamori brass nib. They come with oils on them. And those oils don't really let the ink stick to it. So if you're having trouble with the ink even staying in the pen, then that could be because you've got all the oil on it from manufacturing, and you'll want to go ahead and prep that nib. And you prep it by sticking the nib in a potato for 20 minutes or washing it with some toothpaste and a toothbrush. You just want to scrub all that oil off of there. Maybe some Dawn soap would be good. Ooh, let's get some gold dots in here. Gold dots. We like gold dots. So you want to prep the nib if you're using it and you're like, oh, I can't get the stuff to stay in there. And to do the circles, I kind of tilt it a little bit as I'm drawing the circles, because that kind of lets the ink come out the edge. So it's just practice and play. I just kind of was plug and play. I just kind of went for it when I got mine, and it did magic things. Some people have said, oh, they can't get the ink to stay and stuff like that. So I thought I'd mention that while I was using this nib. Alright, this one might be a hot mess. You know what? This one might be a candidate to be cut into other stuff. So I don't get discouraged with the hot messes that truly stay a hot mess. I look at it and think, okay, let's put that into my junk art bin. And at some point I can cut these up, make other stuff out of them. And a couple of people have said that when I talk about collage, they want to see collage videos, but I don't think collage is what I'm inspired to make at the moment. But I do have several collage video classes, several collage classes on Skillshare. You're welcome to check those out if you're on Skillshare. Because I kind of go through phases in what I want to create, and I just ride those waves as they come. And last year I had a collage phase, and I had a graphite phase where I made like a ton of graphite classes, and sometimes I'm in a watercolor phase, which you're in the watercolor phase with the Kuretake watercolors at the moment. But then, you know, that eventually kind of fades and ebbs into other stuff, and so I don't revisit some of these phases for a while. It's like, this is the phase I got into, and this is where we sit for a while. And then when I feel like doing something else, that's when I kind of move back into something else I might like. What do you think about some stencils? Any stencil work on here? Let's see. Will the stencil work save the hot mess? I don't know. Maybe. Got the corrugated cardboard and the halftone stencil. That was what those were. I've got this smaller halftone stencil, which I like. That's Tim Holtz and Stencil Girl on those. Ooh, I could come back in here with this little square ones. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil. That might be some fun. That's some of my favorite. Maybe stenciling in, what do you think? Maybe a white? Because, you know, white, black, gold, I consider those kind of neutral colors. Or I could do it in like a black. Or I could do it in the gold, but I got gold on there already. I mean, once you decide that something's a hot mess and it's not your favorite, like this is my favorite. I might even say this one's probably finished for me. So instead of messing it up, we might go ahead and take the tape off of this one because I love it. And then you might take your lesser favorite one and say, okay, I can be brave on that one because I don't love it. So let's be brave. So what if we get brave on this one over here and do something weird? But this one I'm in love with just like it is, and I don't want to ruin it or add anything else to it. Like, look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. And look at what we did with our color palette. I think we did pretty darn good there with our color palette. Some called this the masterpiece for today. And then I'm kind of thinking, like, what can we add on here just for giggles and experimenting? Like, maybe let me get a piece of this palette paper. Oh, I got a piece of wax paper here. That'd be good. You know, if you don't have the palette paper, like these palette paper pads, or you're like, ooh, that's expensive, you know, you can use wax paper for this kind of thing. I've got a whole box of wax paper that I got from the Costco. It's a gigantic box. It would last me forever. And I could use all of these as my palette papers. I probably should actually, rather than buy these pads, now that I have sat here and brainstormed with you. Totally should be doing that. Oh, now that was actually rather delightful. Like a happy surprise there. I feel like, here's what I feel like is the problem with this one. And I do lots of circles, so it's not like this is the first circles I've ever done. I'm really liking that. I feel like putting something in every single color around the circle was way too much. And I think that's what is bothering me about this piece. So that was actually fun to put stencil on top. Okay, so we're going to call this one done. It's not the favorite piece of the day, but you know what? It was still a fantastic painting day. And you don't know how many times too I've looked at stuff and I've thought, why did I not love that? So I might come back later and think it's the best thing I ever made. I don't know. Check out this one. Oh my gosh. So, okay, we got one that was a hot mess that I might cut up, and one that was a fantastic, and our color palette for today. So I hope you enjoyed this random color palette painting challenge today. I can't wait to see what you're making. Feel free to tag me on Instagram at Two Little Owls Art. You can join the Facebook art group down in the, there's a link in the description below the video. I'll also link all the supplies that I used in the video, and I can't wait to see you next time.